I want you to fast forward 5 years. You're still sitting in the same chair, you're still dealing with the same boss and sending the same emails. Now, does that thought make you feel safe, or does it make you want to scream? Because if it makes you want to vomit all over your fucking desk, then you are not just being responsible by staying. You're committing to a slow death. You are trading your time, your youth, your energy for money. And that is a terrible trade. Let's talk about why you need to leave. Now listen, stability is very important, okay? Mortgages, pensions, bonuses, promotions, all of that shit is valid. And having that security every month will make you a calmer and less stressed person, which will have a positive effect on your life. But a lot of people don't talk about what we exchange for that security. Because when we accept a job that drains us in exchange for safety and security and stability, then we are kind of making a little quiet compromise where we are giving up on certain aspects of what makes us us. And we're not really often reminded of what the other things are that we're giving up on. Because as soon as we start telling ourselves that we can't pursue the things that we really love, a bit of us can die inside. I know this because I did it for years. There is risk in leaving a stable job. There's a huge risk. But I believe that there's also a risk in staying in that job. It might be more of an existential risk, maybe. It's the loss of passion and creativity and losing that spark. And that, to me, is a huge part of our lives, which it's not really painted in the same way as being valuable, but it is what makes us us. And surely that's the most valuable thing that we have. We also live in uncertain times right now. And there is also a risk in staying in a job that doesn't do it for you, and doesn't fulfill you. And the risk is that you're kind of depending on your boss to be good at their job so that they can continue to employ you. And if they mess up, everything could go wrong for you. Now, you might work in a big company that's too big to fail, or a really good company that's very successful. But there's also lots of other things coming at us, which we all know about now. AI is kind of threatening on the sidelines to come in and take over people's jobs. And I do believe, that all of our jobs will have to change in some way. And there will be a lot of changes in my industry and what I do, but I'm in control of that. Whereas if I worked for someone who might think to themselves, actually, AI could do this better, then suddenly you're again at the mercy of this person who's in charge of your living, deciding, even if it's the wrong decision, that AI might be able to replace you and cutting your hours or getting rid of you. So there are risks on both sides, and I just think that we talk quite a lot about one set of risks, but we don't often talk about the other set of risks. Now, as I mentioned, I used to be in a job that I hated. I used to be a chef, and I did that for many, many years, and I did not have any creative control over what I did, and it drained me. I didn't love it. It wasn't my passion. It was just something that I'd fallen into. And when I took the leap to pursue my dream of working with cameras and making films, and my career kind of evolved into this little business that I have going now, where I have full control over my time and I work less than half the hours that I worked in the kitchen. I was opened up to these possibilities that I never knew were even there. And now, years later, I have this kind of creative approach to everything I do. Now, when I say creative, creativity is not just like art and painting and making music or something like that. Humans need to be creative. We need to come up with creative solutions to problems. It's how our brain works. It's how it's wired. And working in a job that doesn't allow you to have any creative input is damaging to our brains, I believe. I'm not a neuroscientist, but I'm pretty sure that it is. Or it stifles our own passions at the very least. So I think there's huge value in being able to create something. Now, I work for people. I make videos for clients most of the time. I don't just go out and film whatever I want, apart from when I'm making these videos. But I still have huge creative input over that work. Anyway, I digress. But one of the other really important things that I have learned in this journey of mine is that having responsibility is huge for your own self-esteem. It's huge for your personal growth. When you take charge of everything that you're doing and you're responsible for it all and you hand it over in exchange for payment, it is so much more meaningful than when you just are told what to do every day. That, for me, is the best thing about my job. is the responsibility. And it's the fact as well that I'm in control of my future. So if I have no work, which currently right now I have, apart from a couple of retainer clients, I have 0 jobs on the horizon. And so I know that by the time I've finished filming all my YouTube stuff for the day, I am going to dive straight in to finding some new work. And that will be my focus for the next couple of days, to find myself a new client. I've given myself that task, and I will find a new client. That's how I do it, and that's how it works. And what a great feeling it is to be in control of that. I don't see it as uncertainty. I see it as opportunity. So listen, I'm not telling you, right, go into work tomorrow and punch your boss in the face, fucking stomp on his balls and say, I quit, I'm leaving, fuck you. Don't do that, right? Unless your boss is a terrible, terrible person, but still maybe don't do the violence. Instead, start thinking about a future where you can take control back. What would that look like? What first step would you take? And give yourself a deadline. Say, in 3 months, I am going to have made a positive step in the direction of that thing. For instance, if you want to do what I do, then in 3 months, you should have a couple of paying clients and proof of concept to yourself that actually, if you were to devote more time to this and take the leap, you would be able to scale that enough that you don't even have to match the salary. The point is, you could work half as much. And if you could survive on half as much money, then that's great. But you might be able to make the same amount of money or more by working half as much. That's the beauty of being in control of it. So start thinking about what that looks like for you. And if it looks like the kind of business model that I talk about on my channel, then you should subscribe, because that's all I ever talk about. And also there's a link in the description below to a waiting list to my course, which is coming soon, which is pretty much exactly what you need to go from stuck in a job that you hate to transition fully to client getting, filmmaking, unstoppable force of nature. I was talking to someone yesterday about this, and it just kind of clicked for me that we just accept shit sometimes. And by the way, we're getting nothing. The people who are in control of the money and the fucking government, they're giving us nothing. They're giving us less and less all the time. And the more that we can be in control, I believe, the more that we can be in control of that and not have to depend so much on them, the better. So listen, you don't need to escape from your life, right? You just need to take the wheel. You just need to start steering it in the direction that you want to go. You might be 40 now, you might be 50 now. In fact, the older you are, the more this will resonate with you, because the longer you've spent not doing it. And also, the more perspective you have on time. We are running out of time every day. The only guarantee you've got is right now. If you can make a change today, even if it's a mental change where you say, I am not going to be doing this in a year, then that is huge. And you can come back and tell me all about it when you do make that transition. I'd love to hear. And leave a comment. Tell me where you're at in this journey, because it's an important journey and we're all on it, unless you were born into generational wealth and you don't have to work. But who really wants that? Who really wants that? All right, that's it.